Daniel, a jovial kid loved by all, entertained his friends even as his teacher looked down on him, punishing him for no reason. But guess what? Something big changes Daniel's story. Kindly like and subscribe to this channel, and make sure to watch until the end. Daniel was the heart of the class. Everywhere he went in Sunrise High School, laughter and joy seemed to follow. He had a special talent for mimicking teachers, crafting funny stories, and bringing smiles to everyone's faces. His classmates adored him for his humor and carefree nature, but many teachers, especially the stricter ones, disapproved. One day, Mr. James, the strictest teacher in the school, decided to make an example of Daniel. During a lesson, he called Daniel lazy and unserious in front of the entire class. The harsh words stung, especially because they weren't entirely true. Daniel struggled academically, not because he didn't care, but because he found it hard to stay focused. He would try his best to study, but exhaustion often overtook him, and he'd find himself dozing off over his books. The next day, Mr. James continued to punish Daniel, assigning him extra work and scolding him for every small mistake. These constant reprimands only deepened Daniel's frustration and made concentrating even harder. Despite the humiliation, Daniel stayed respectful. He never talked back or showed anger, though his heart ached at the unfairness. At home, Daniel found solace in his family. His world revolved around his mother, Mama Daniel, and his younger sister, Bola. Mama Daniel was a hardworking woman who ran a small shop to support the family. Daniel admired her strength and did everything he could to help her. After school, he would head straight to the shop, assisting customers, arranging goods, and ensuring his mother had time to rest. Though life was challenging, Daniel held on to hope. He dreamed of a day when he could make his mother proud and provide a better life for his family. Despite his struggles at school and the weight of his responsibilities at home, Daniel's determination never wavered. One day, a new teacher, Mr. Caleb, arrived at Sunrise High School. Before long, he heard whispers about Daniel, the boy who could make an entire room burst into laughter with his clever jokes and spot-on impressions. Curious, Mr. Caleb decided to observe Daniel in action. One afternoon, during lunch break, he stood at a distance and watched as Daniel performed one of his impromptu comedy routines. His classmates were in stitches, their laughter echoing down the hallway. Unlike most of the other teachers, Mr. Caleb didn't see Daniel as a troublemaker. Instead, he saw a spark, something unique and full of potential. Later that day, Mr. Caleb called Daniel aside for a chat. "Daniel," he began, smiling warmly, "you have an amazing gift. Have you ever thought about using it for something bigger? Maybe you could share your talent with more people, like through videos online?" Daniel laughed nervously and looked down at his feet. "Sir, who would watch me? Besides, people don't take entertainers seriously." Mr. Caleb chuckled. "You'd be surprised. There are young people like you out there making a name for themselves and a good living just by sharing their creativity. Here, let me show you." He pulled out his phone and showed Daniel examples of young content creators earning as much as $500 a month simply by being themselves online. Daniel's eyes widened in disbelief. $500 every month? He asked, astonished. "Exactly," Mr. Caleb said. "You've got the charm and the talent. All you need is the confidence to take that first step." Daniel went home that evening feeling inspired, his mind buzzing with possibilities. But just as he began to consider how he could make this work, tragedy struck. His mother, Mama Daniel, the pillar of their small family, suddenly fell gravely ill. Despite his best efforts and the little money they had, she passed away shortly after. Daniel's world crumbled. Devastated by the loss of his mother and overwhelmed by his new responsibilities as the eldest child, he lost all interest in school and the dreams Mr. Caleb had encouraged him to pursue. With his younger sister, Bola, relying on him, Daniel had no choice but to drop out of school and take on any job he could find. From washing cars to carrying heavy loads at the market, Daniel worked tirelessly to provide for Bola. Life was cruelly hard. Food prices soared, and every trip to the market felt like a battle against impossibly high costs. Still, Daniel refused to let Bola go hungry. His once bright and carefree demeanor dimmed under the weight of his struggles. Although Daniel had left school, his classmates never forgot him. They missed the joy he brought to their days and often visited him at home. They would bring food, sit with him, and share stories from school. Despite his exhaustion, Daniel mustered a smile and entertained them, cracking jokes and reminding them, even briefly, of the lively boy he used to be. Though life seemed bleak, Daniel held on to a small ember of hope. He promised himself that one day he would rise above his struggles and create a better life for himself and Bola. It was this quiet determination that kept him moving forward, even in the darkest moments. A month later, Mr. Caleb became even more determined to help Daniel. He saw immense potential in the boy and believed in him more than Daniel believed in himself. Despite Daniel's challenges, Mr. Caleb began mentoring him and encouraging him to keep practicing. He went the extra mile, using his own salary to buy Daniel a laptop for editing videos and an Android phone to record them. Now motivated by Mr. Caleb's trust in him, Daniel remained focused. Although his menial jobs kept him busy, he used his spare time and even late nights to work on himself. At night, he would watch videos of successful entertainers on YouTube, learning how they created engaging content, built loyal audiences, and turned their passion into careers. Slowly but surely, Daniel developed the skills he needed, how to brainstorm ideas, shoot videos, edit them on his laptop, and connect with viewers. For 6 months, Daniel worked tirelessly, dedicating countless hours to honing his craft. Fueled by Mr. Caleb's support and his sister Bola's encouragement, Daniel became increasingly skilled. Finally, 1 month later, Daniel decided to take a leap of faith. He posted his first video on YouTube. Nervously, he went to bed that night, unsure of what to expect. When he woke up the next morning, he checked the views and saw just one from his sister. Disappointed, Daniel realized he had expected too much too soon. He learned that success doesn't happen overnight. It takes consistency and hard work. Over the following weeks, Daniel kept uploading videos, but the views and subscribers remained discouragingly low. A month later, he felt like giving up. But Bola, ever supportive, told him, "Daniel, I love your content. It's so unique. It teaches me a lot and entertains me at the same time." Her words reignited his determination. After 2 months of consistency, one morning, Daniel was in a deep sleep when Bola burst into his room, shaking him awake. "Daniel, wake up!" "Guess what?" she exclaimed. Still groggy, he asked her to just tell him. She grinned widely and said, "The video you posted yesterday has gone viral." Instantly awake, Daniel grabbed his phone and saw it with his own eyes. His video had 2 million views. Overwhelmed with joy, he and Bola celebrated together. To his surprise, his video had become an overnight sensation. His friends, neighbors, and even members of the community shared and subscribed to his channel. YouTube noticed the value of his content and began promoting it because it was highly suitable for advertisers. Daniel's relatable humor and vibrant personality struck a chord with thousands of viewers. His channel grew rapidly, and within a few weeks, it was monetized. Daniel began earning money in dollars, which allowed him to hire a team to support him as he expanded his content. Deals and endorsements started pouring in, and even a reputable multimedia organization offered him a contract to help promote their company. Offers for collaborations and event appearances followed soon after. What once felt like a distant dream had now become a reality. As Daniel's fame skyrocketed, so did his income. He became a household name, celebrated for his unique ability to make people laugh while staying true to his roots. One day, during a live interview with a reputable multinational company, Daniel was asked about the secret behind his success. The question brought a flood of memories, and he shared his story with heartfelt honesty. He spoke about the struggles he faced after losing his mother, the ridicule he endured from some teachers, and the life-changing mentorship of Mr. Caleb. His story resonated deeply with viewers across the nation, moving many to tears. The next day, determined to express his gratitude, Daniel decided to find Mr. Caleb. He searched through his phone contacts and scoured social media platforms, but couldn't find any trace of his mentor. Days turned into weeks, yet Daniel didn't give up. Eventually, he decided to visit his former school to find Mr. Caleb. However, the principal informed him that Mr. Caleb had been transferred to another school. Coincidentally, Daniel also discovered that it was Mr. Caleb's birthday that day. Daniel, together with his team, conspired with the principal and some students to prank Mr. Caleb on his birthday. That day, Daniel's team disguised themselves as law enforcement officers. They entered Mr. Caleb's classroom and announced, "You are under arrest." The entire school, students and teachers alike, was shocked. Mr. Caleb, known to be a good and responsible man, tried to explain himself, but the officers sternly told him to remain quiet. Feeling scared, Mr. Caleb entered their car, where he was told someone wanted to speak with him. To his surprise, he saw Daniel inside, who wished him a happy birthday and explained how long he had been searching for him to express his gratitude. Mr. Caleb, recovering from the shock of the prank, was left speechless. Back at the school premises, Daniel gave an emotional speech about how Mr. Caleb had impacted his life. "You believed in me when no one else did," Daniel said, his voice breaking with emotion. "You saw potential where others only saw failure. Everything I am today is because of you." Daniel then presented Mr. Caleb with several gifts: a brand new car, a house on a full plot of land, and $1,000 for his family. Mr. Caleb was deeply honored, while other teachers murmured among themselves, some feeling envious. The crowd erupted in cheers as Mr. Caleb, overwhelmed with emotion, embraced Daniel tightly. It was a moment of pure joy and gratitude, a testament to the power of belief and mentorship. From that day onward, Daniel's career continued to soar. He used his platform not just for entertainment, but also to inspire others to embrace their unique talents and believe in themselves. For Mr. Caleb, seeing Daniel's success was the greatest reward of all. So, guys, I believe this story has motivated you and taught you valuable lessons from Mr. Caleb's example. Kindly like and subscribe to this channel to enjoy more of our inspiring stories.